A good woman knows men want to feel loved and valued too. And as a man, you deserve that kind of woman. Don't settle for less than that. But you still have to do your due diligence to understand what kind of woman you're dealing with. Because there are women out there who are more selfish-minded and think it's all about them and how you satisfy her needs. And in that process, you get neglected, all right? And it's very easy sometimes to let your desire for her cause you to be blinded by the fact that she's not pouring into you the way that you need and want. So you've got to be aware enough to figure out, okay, how can I understand what kind of woman I'm dealing with and set the foundation that allows me to successfully be poured into as well? Well, one of the things you need to do to get this started is explore her current mindset. So what I mean by this is when you as a man go on a date and you're talking to this woman or you're talking to her on the phone, it would be wise to ask questions that allow you to see how does she view her role in a relationship? How does she view how she needs to show up for a man? Not you necessarily coming out the gate saying what you're looking for. Not that that discussion shouldn't be had, but you want to see how does she already think herself on this? And not just how does she think about it, what has been her pattern before you? Not that we want to dive all deep into any specific previous relationship, but just in general, how did you treat the guy that you've been with? What do you feel like is doing too much or doing enough for a man? You know what I'm saying? What do you think are reasonable expectations or requirements for a man to have of a woman? Seeing if she is already comfortable with the approach of pouring into her partner, or does she show you that no, she's always been catered to and never catered to the man? Because once you can identify that this woman's history is she doesn't have to do anything, they do all for her, now you already know you're in for an uphill battle. That does not mean automatically she cannot be the woman that can pour into you. But now we understand we have more work to do here if we want to see if this is a woman that we can be with, all right? So be willing to ask certain questions. Be willing to throw out certain scenarios to see how does she handle certain things that come up. That way you understand where she's coming from. And then after we understand where she's coming from, now we have number 2, which is expressing what your desires and expectations are. So we know what her past has been. We know what her pattern has been. Now we're saying, okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I desire and require. Again, what I've noticed in a lot of situations is that when men go out with women they're really into and they're trying to win over, they become so focused on what she wants, so focused on making sure she's impressed, so focused on winning her attention that they forget to let it be known, but this is what I need in return. All right? You want to establish that as early as you possibly can. Now, I'm not saying force that conversation, all right? But what I am saying is make sure it's established, because it's not fair to hold it against her things that she was not made aware of. And some of you may say, well, if she's a good woman, she should know that on her own. Yeah, but then isn't it unfair if she had the same expectations of you? If that woman said, well, he didn't know that he should be not texting me so much. And I'm using that as an example because I hear it a lot. To you, it might be like, well, damn, I didn't know this was a problem. Had she just told me, I would have corrected it. Well, if she would have just known you had certain issues or concern, she may have corrected it. And to me, that's how you see how serious that woman is about you. When you can say to her, listen, I don't like this. This is what I need from you. How she handles that shows you how much she likes you. If she doesn't like you like that, she's not fixing anything. But if she's like, oh, okay, I get it now and I'm going to correct it, you're good to go. Not everyone always knows on their own what you specifically are looking for in that experience. So we've got to be willing to be more open and transparent about it. Now that brings me to number 3, So we've learned her mindset, we've expressed our own desires, but now you need to make sure you're tapping into hers. So listen, I'm all about establishing healthy relationships. That cannot be done if it's a one-sided relationship. So I'm not here to have you just get your needs met and neglect her. That doesn't make any sense, all right? It's about two people pouring into each other, giving each other what they need so that you both can be happy, and that's how we sustain this. So it's important for you as a man, though I don't want you to lose sight of what you're gonna need, I need you to also pay attention to what she's going to need. And you gotta be honest with yourself about, can I give her that? Can I consistently, willingly, happily pour into her the way that she's gonna require of me? One small example, I remember one time I met a woman, and at this time I was extremely busy. And what I did was I asked her from the jump, how much communication do you need from me to be okay, to be happy, and so that while we're working to see if we can build something here? And she told me like 3 times a week is enough for her. And I said, bet, I could do that. Had she said at that time, I need to hear from you every day, we need to have a conversation, I would have said, I can't do it. Even though she was, beautiful woman, I thought she was great, I liked her, but at the same time, I knew what my limitations were at that time. And it wouldn't have been fair to try to drag things along when I'm not ready or willing to give her what she needs. So as a man, take that time to learn her. Take that time to understand where she's coming from. That way you both can make sure you're pouring into each other properly. Now, the fourth way to make sure she meets your needs is make her feel special and safe. Now, again, I know some of y'all might be thinking like, why are you guys doing so much work? but listen, again, this is about healthy relationships, and this isn't about just making her happy. This is about you're benefiting from this as well. That's the whole point. This is about making sure that you're good, but you have to make sure she's good as well. So making her feel special and safe means this. It is easier for a woman to pour into you when you give her the safety and security that she's looking for, all right? This is one of the reasons why commitment is so important to a woman, because without that commitment, she still feels the insecurity of, well, how do I know this is gonna go anywhere? How do I know how he feels about me? That kind of instability can create problems within her. Now, yes, some women may react initially to that, as in, let me do more for this man, right? So you might think to yourself, nah, I've seen plenty of dudes by not giving her that safety, by not giving her that security, actually get more out of her. That's temporary though. She can't keep that up for too long. So again, if we're trying to have a serious relationship, that's not a tactic to use. It's going to only cause bigger problems in the long run. So the quicker you can get to making her feel like, no, you are about her and making things work with her, the easier it is for her to now consistently pour into you. Now, listen, if you do these things that I've mentioned so far on this list, and she's still not giving you what you need, then that just means you're dealing with the wrong woman. Like, don't mistake the wrong woman and saying these principles don't work, they're not accurate. No. This is going to work with the right woman. This is going to work with a good woman who's best for you. But yes, random women who are not serious about you, they will expose themselves in the process. But don't let that take you off the path of still embracing the role that you play in making sure that you both are getting what you need in this relationship. And the last thing that you need to do if you want to make sure she meets your needs is never be afraid to walk away from her. So what I mean by that is this. Anytime a person thinks that no matter what they do, you're not leaving them, you lost, you messed up. A lot of men, there's a video I made about putting a woman on a pedestal. And there's a lot of men who will say you should never put a woman on a pedestal. And I understand the thinking that they have. I disagree with it simply because to me, the issue is not when a man puts a woman on a pedestal. The issue is when the man allows the woman to think that she gets to remain on that pedestal no matter what she does. That despite her neglecting him, she stays there. Despite her disrespecting him, she stays there. There are no consequences for her actions. So in that, she takes advantage. And men get played. And men get used. But if she understood that, listen, as long as I do my part, this man is going to make sure I'm good, then she's less likely to then neglect you and do all these different things. She's more likely to respect you because she knows you don't tolerate nonsense. So you have to show her that, yes, I will pour into you and make you a happy woman. But if you're not going to do your part, I have no problem letting you go. Even if I love you, I may care about you, I may genuinely want to be with you, but I am not going to let those things cause me to accept you devaluing, disrespecting me, and not making sure I'm good as well in this relationship. And when you set that standard, you're going to experience a much higher quality relationship and a healthier relationship where, again, both of you can get your needs met and be happy together. Yo, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out this one over here on how to choose the right woman to be with. Honestly, there are a lot of good women out there. But that doesn't mean she's going to be good for you. And the reality is that a lot of men struggle with picking the right woman. And I'm going to help